Okay, so welcome everyone to our UX, CI UX research planning session. Before we start, oops. Well, actually, let's just start with the first agenda item. This one is yours, Vitika, I think.
Yeah. So this is just an update on the ongoing research activity that's going on. So I have started to interview people who express their interest that they want to speak further or they want to share more about their experience with DAC. And so far, 5 out of 6 interviews are done, and like very interesting insights are surfacing, things that we clearly did not get to see on the feedback issue. So I think that's a plus that that kind of validates that this was a good effort, and it is helping us in seeing a few things that people were not commenting publicly on the issue.
Mm.
Yeah, and some of the key insights that I saw surfacing in the conversations were, first of all, I think 3 out of 5 so far, they feel that DAG is very crucial to determining which dependencies could be cut off to speed up the pipelines. And that's something that they're just not able to do at this point of time using the normal visualization. And so that was the reason they would love to have this visualization available to them. And then we also talked about the alternate tools or the alternate methods within GitLab that they would otherwise employ to kind of achieve or accomplish the same set of tasks. And they also, they gave a walkthrough of that. They talked about tools like GraphViz, and there was one more, a custom tool created by someone, which is also documented. So that was interesting to know that other tools also exist in this area that we can look at. Then talking about colors, yeah, it did come up by itself, even though there was not a dedicated question for that in the questionnaire, but still everybody kind of made a comment on the color that they are not very confident that this is helping them in their workflow. And they're kind of confused about what value it is communicating. Then another thing was the regular visualization needs to be updated. So they're kind of torn. Uh, Nobody really likes to switch between the two visualizations which are available at this point. And even though we are saying that we are providing this special set of information in the second tab, they still need to look at the new set of information in context to the regular set of information. I mean, they still want to look at the status. They still want to see what failed and what went through. And for that, they have to keep switching between tabs, which it is not a very desirable experience. Yeah, so those are a few things from the top of my head, but yeah, it's a really fruitful effort is what I feel.
Wow, what amount of good data. Yeah, I'm from the design perspective, I'm like, this one makes me wonder the use of colors. It's not clear, right? It's not clear. You mentioned, could you elaborate a bit on that? Like what people been thinking, or?
So when they look at colors, sometimes what happens is they understand that the gradients are mostly for them to lead from source to a target in terms of jobs, but sometimes the source and targets have the same color, and sometimes it's the color when they overlap, it gets too messy and they're not able to kind of figure out if there's a pipeline at the back and which way the pipeline, if there's something going on in the back and which way things are turning, and it's a lot confusing. And because they were showing live examples and they were clicking and interacting with the graph, so it is very well documented the kind of usability issues they're facing while interaction.
Nice. I can imagine that this would be really useful information for us to rethink the solution or to improve it a bit. I don't want to jump into too much details, but this is super useful. Thanks, Vitika, for sharing.
Hey, Vitika, when you say the regular visualization, you're just talking about the default pipeline graph?
Yeah, that we.
Okay. Okay. So Oh, okay. So thanks for adding that. By the way, what I did when I was reading through the issues in my feature label area, I created a new feature label that we could probably use as it's called pipeline, I think graph and analytics, because when I first just did pipeline graph to see all the existing issues about how we can make the pipeline graph better, there were only like 30 some issues, which is still a lot. It was either 30 or 40 issues. And I had a separate label I was going to do for pipeline analytics that only had 30 issues. So I combined them because between graph and analytic, they have a common need of really representing data or helping the user understand their pipelines. So feature label. And so I think when you're creating issues, so here's where there's overlap. I think visualization of the DAG has its own feature label, CI DAGs that Jason owns. And I think DAG visualization falls under that. But if you're going to be also trying to make the two of them work together, both the pipeline graph and the DAG visualization, then you're going to have to also consider the issues under my feature label, which is, I think it's called CI graphs and analytics. So so for example, when I start ranking, one of the reasons Jason and I create those separate buckets, so I can start ranking them within the bucket, and then figuring out where I need research to be done for some things that are not clear to me before I start scheduling some of these issues. So you and I can figure out which one of those are also related to feedback you got when you're researching the DAG, so that we don't have duplicate issues in the DAG feature label bucket as well as in mine. Does that make sense?
Okay, I'm just like, my confusion is I generally refer to this epic, the link for which I just posted, to look at the issues which have been created considering the feedback that we are receiving. So would those issues still be added to this one?
No, because this one is specific to, I mean, activate on user feedback about the DAG. This is specific to anything that you're doing to the DAG, but you were mentioning that what some of the feedback insight you got was switching between the DAG visualization and the regular pipeline graph, because there's some data they need from the pipeline graph, right? If the feedback, if we decide that part of that feedback we want to, I don't know, store, I'm just going to create something completely unrelated, hypothetical. Let's say they wanted the DAG colors to show up on the regular pipeline graph saying, for this job, go to the blue job in the DAG view. Mm-hmm. That would be adding something on the pipeline graph that would be not under the epic that you just shared, but under a story with the feature label graphs and analytics.
Okay, all right.
It's tricky, right? Because there's a lot of overlap, and it bleeds over between the work we do on some feature labels and others.
Okay.
Let me see. So this is, let me go find equals CI pipeline. So if I combine the two, I think it came up to be about 70. Yeah. So this is feature label. Make that. I'm going to make that a link for the CI graphs and analytics. And it will take you to the list of issues under that. I haven't had a chance to prioritize them yet, this list of 69 issues about graph and analytics, but some of them do have to do with ways that they want the pipeline graph to be improved. Okay.
I very recently posted a design to one of the issues which talked about how we should show the DAG relationships within the visualization, the regular visualization under the pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
I think I forgot to put work for design on that, but looking at what all this label is attached to, I think that should also be considered, or maybe it is already considered and it's somewhere here. I would look at this list and yeah.
Okay. Did I answer your question though of would this be in that epic? Only issues specific to DAG improvements.
I'm a little confused, but what I'm thinking is I'll create the issues first
Mm-hmm.
and then
Okay.
leave it up to you and Jason to
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just ping us and ask us which. Yeah, sounds good. Is also the insights and the links to like the recordings of the interviews, is it going to be in Dovetail or is it in a research issue as well? Only in
I would
Dovetail?
put everything in Dovetail. So Dovetail already has a place for the DAG visualization feedback exercise. I would just go and add all of these and along with the analysis and everything.
Okay.
So yeah, we're
So
keeping all of the research artifacts in Dovetail right now. Now you can save it to your Google Drive if you want, but if you want to look for like the project, it's in Dovetail. And so our research issue that's raised as an issue will reference the Dovetail project.
And then my next question is, so the research, so when I create a research issue for something, that's still valid. In the past, we would put our notes in there and we would link to the recording from the research issue, but now the research issue will just link to one project in Dovetail and everything else is there. Okay.
Yeah.
But we are, okay.
And then once you do the hard work of analyzing and coming up with your insights, there is a process, and Adam, I think, posted the link to the page in the UX team meeting today about creating the actionable insights in it's not the research project, it's the other project, the one that you guys use as PMs, and using the actionable insights label. And that just means like, these are things that we have to take action on. We need to change something, we need to add something, we might have to do more research on this. And it's our effort to try to track the output of research. Where does it go? It's kind of hard. It goes into the ether. So we're trying to track it that way, which also means that the non-actionable insights, so maybe it's just informational, like 9 out of 10 people like blue, that's informational. It's not really something you have to take action on. That will live right now solely inside of Dovetail. So Dovetail will have both the actionable insights, because you create them there, and the informative ones. And then the actionable ones will get kind of copied again manually into that other project in GitLab. So then we can track it from the PM work and the design work to see where it goes.
Can you, is someone already doing that? Is there some links that you can share of what they're doing? I'm trying.
I did it for mine. I'll see if I can find my. It's super easy. It's just that one. I just don't remember what the project name is.
Is the whole way we should be doing it to incorporate Dovetail, is that captured anywhere in the handbook? Or,
yeah, I was gonna just copy.
Okay. I want to do it right and not create rework for us, but I haven't done this. I haven't used Dovetail extensively, except for one time I tried to go out there and try to figure out how to initiate a recording until I found out from Laura, you just record in Zoom and you store it in Dovetail and all of your notes and insights, but the recording is.
I didn't know either. We all learned together.
Okay.
And I do suggest to people, like, this is what I didn't do. Go into Dovetail, make like a test project or something, and fiddle around with it. Like, go and like find a video from an old session, because you can just upload an old video from past sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Play with the transcription, play with taking notes, play with how you want to organize your information, because it is very flexible as a platform. It does not even allow us to do more than one template. So our template's very flexible that we have in there. But if you don't do that, you run the risk of putting structure around your project in a way that might hinder your ability to do your data analysis. I was talking to Dimitri earlier, and he was struggling with his tags, because you can create tags in the beginning, you can create tags during, and you can create tags at the end. And he was struggling with how many tags he had and trying to figure out which tag went with what highlight, because you basically highlight and then you kind of tag it. And one of the pieces of advice that I had for him was create the tags as you go. As you read through the notes, you're like, ooh, that deals with, you know, color, something with color, or color confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can come back to that tag and use it the more you read through the notes. But what also happens is the more you read through the notes, the more you tend to refine the tags. So now maybe it's not color confusion. Maybe now it's confusion between what the red and the green mean, because they think it's like go and stop, or stop and go. So then you can go back and change the tag. You can add one, but it's just like, and I didn't expect that. That just happened to me when I was using it for the first time. So go through, make a little test project, see, get some familiarity with it, and yeah, and it's just so flexible. So don't be afraid to make it do what you need it to do, but don't expect there to be structure sitting there already for you. That's, I think, the worst part about the tool. But yet a good part.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're so used to having templates when we do issues and all that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went out there and I looked at, I think I created a project for a customer call that I was anticipating. I think I deleted it afterwards because I didn't know what I was doing. But I'll go, you know what? And I realized those, for example, those interviews we did, I think four or five of them, Lori, for when we were researching machine learning pipeline. The conclusion of that is really none of the participants that responded as qualified really understood what we were talking about. But I could upload one of those and play with it and eventually store just, some of them were not meaningful interviews, but
right.
Yeah, but okay. Interesting.
Yeah, just play around with it. Don't worry about like making anything for posterity or anything. Just play around with it, see how it feels, see what the flow is for you, how you like to organize things. You can also go into anybody else's project in there. You can click and see how other people are doing it. I
was looking at it at the time, but it was maybe more than a month ago, and no one really had anything in there that I could see how they were using it. But maybe by now I'll go check it again. Thanks for that.
That's how I'm slowly learning Dovetail. I mean, I still don't know the best practices, but I look into others' project. And for tag, Lori, I had a question that are the tags project specific or the namespace specific?
They are not. They do not get shared across. Interesting. Yeah, because it could be problematic or it could be good. So they don't get shared. There is a thing called an extension. I think that's what they call it. It's a different kind of tag, and it lives in a different folder, and somebody has to create them, but like me, like an admin has to create them. Those can be seen across projects, but the navigability to where they live is stupid. This is what I'm gonna put out there. It's like 3 layers in the drop-down menu. So it's not as user-friendly as I would like it to be, and I don't know how helpful it actually would be, because I don't know if the meaning of one tag, even though it's the same word, welcome to English, would mean the same thing for another project. So we haven't really dived into that too much yet.
Okay. So it would be my responsibility if I find something which is relevant for some other team, it would be my responsibility to communicate that to them.
Yeah, so if it's an actionable insight, you put it into that GitLab project and you tag the appropriate people. So part of that process that I linked to in the agenda here is tagging the PM and the designer who are tagged part of that effort. So if it's something for a different team, like the growth team or something, tag Jeff, tag Tim, or whoever the PM is, and they should be able to see that and then take action on it.
Okay, great.
Hey, Lori, one other question that I had, it's in 2B of our agenda, is does Dovetail have a feature that we're supposed to use instead of Mural for things like that example that I linked to there? Or do we still use Mural and then we upload it to Dovetail so that we have all of that stuff in one place? We do? Okay.
Yeah. It's Dovetail's only right now a tool to use to consolidate your notes and to help you pull out insights for research.
Okay. And so it's linked to it.
And you certainly can, like there's no proper process, I think, around artifacts like that yet. But if it's part of the project, you want to keep it there, you might want to also link to your mural back on that research issue that you opened as well, in case somebody came across it there. Ultimately, we're hoping that we can export part of these Dovetail projects back into our research insights repo. That's a lot of R's. But I don't know if it would ever export that kind of artifacts. I think we're working on trying just to get the insights pushed back in there. So we'll at least have something of record that's ours. So it's a little kludgy right now, a little all over the place, but I have a minor in library science, so I always err on the side of cross-linking everything everywhere, just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Both link to it in the whatever artifact we have from a task we do in Mural, but link to it both like from Dovetail and then also the original UX research issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, you're gonna hear folks saying we're
I'm already hearing it.
Multiple source of truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I know it's so weird. So I look at Dovetail as a tool. I personally don't look at it as a repository. I look at it as a tool to get me to the end, which is the insights.
Mm-hmm.
We are mainly because we're also still pulling those actionable ones back out and putting them into a GitLab project, but we're storing the informational ones in there as well. I think in trying to reduce load, because otherwise those would be stuck into, I guess, the research and the UXR Insights project where they would have gone before. So when we get the API integration with Zapier done that they've been working on, hopefully we'll be able to just constantly pull from Dovetail and put them into our single source of truth, which is the repository. But I don't know, that's how I view it, but this is the unofficial, completely non-associated with the UX team's perspective.
No, it's helpful to hear. Thanks, Lori.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Is this a half-hour session? It is. Okay. Vitika, go ahead. Yeah, number 3.
So what I'm doing in the interviews is people are generally talking about how they're interacting with the DAG and the significance of their action in context with their role in the company and what they're trying to accomplish. So I think it's pretty easy to extract the jobs to be done from there. So what I'm thinking is, whichever jobs to be done we extract from these interviews, we can go ahead and document it in the JTPD document that we have created for CI. I'll do that. So this is a good way. From each of the interviews that we conduct, we would often end up having informations which are very relevant to our stage group, and it could be of a different nature. It might not be very useful for that particular research exercise, but this is a very good example that we can still get JTBDs from the same interviews and populate our document.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking at your graph. If one row, let's say, has multiple affected issues, do you list multiple rows because there's one checkbox to be for done, or you just list a whole group of the issues in the one cell?
I was thinking in the same cell, we would put links to different issues.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that checkbox though would only apply
It's a
what
checkbox.
done? It's not important. I was just curious what your plan was for that checkbox, the done checkbox. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can change our process midway as well. I mean, depending on our experience with interacting with this document.
Yeah. Um, well, okay. So this also will help drive what we put on our handbook page for CI JTBD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 minutes left. Oh, we just have a couple announcements. I hope you're gonna have something fun to do, Lori, when you're out.
I am. I'm going to go to, I don't, they call them cabins, but they're not. I think they're like little, I don't know, containers, reimagined. It's called the Getaway
Where?
cabins.
Where?
So there's some down near you, and then there's some here like in 2 hours